So we're back here on Living in the 21st Century. Joining me is Michael Smith, founder for Boston Carnival Village. And today we're going to be discussing plans for the year 2020 for here in Attleboro concerning the performing arts. At some point and juncture, we will want to develop a very unique strategic plan that enable diversity from all cultures to be able to engage in one common activity that benefits everyone, the city, the growth of it, GDP, as well as giving small vendors the ability to make some money for themselves, helping stores make profits, etc. So with that being said, Michael, what is the state of Boston Carnival Village right now with this pandemic just cramping everything?
Well, Boston Carnival, is ongoing development. We're making stride in terms of the kind of connections we're trying to make back with the maker of Carnival. That's Trinidad. Right now, I have some ongoing discussions with the Pantry and Bagel, because I would love to develop a situation where we could bring perhaps a couple of those high-end steel bands in Trinidad to do some performances here in Boston, and perhaps expand out to your neighborhood also.
Yes.
But I'm trying to make connections also with Boston Carnival organizers to get a better sense of what kind of plans they have and what they're going to be doing moving forward, especially if they plan on having anything for Boston Carnival in August.
Right. With this pandemic still posing a threat to everyone, and we won't look to be in a situation where this actually diminishes events that normally would have happened that economically benefit people for years. We know that places like Washington, New York, Canada, that have these cultural activities depend solely on it for its economic derivatives, enable it to prosper financially. What is your vision of 2022? Do you see that this thing would be, I mean, it's hard to predict that this would be actually erased, because by then everyone should have a vaccination and there should be some normality of what we should expect as a people functioning as one entity. What is your outlook on that?
Well, a couple of things happened in Boston here recently. We have our first female mayor. I would like to see if it's possible to make some kind of a connection with her and have some discussions with her, because in Boston, in terms of the carnival activities, the city is very much involved in terms of all the permitting situations that you have to get by. So I would really like to have a discussion with her and see what she is thinking, and perhaps tell her what I am thinking, and see how we could put things together to make it happen, because I strongly believe Boston Carnival can really do a lot more if we can get the city more actively involved in the events,
right,
and what we do, because like New York and my standard Toronto, the city is heavily involved, and they really put a package together to invite all visitors. Right now, the way things are taking place in Boston, I don't think they're ready for the big things that can really happen. And I really want to do something about that.
Right. Do you think there may be hesitation from those who normally would get engaged in these cultural activities simply because that consciousness of the virus may be still lingering somewhere in their brains?
Yeah, I think, yeah, my problem that I have observed, Ziv, is the mindset, how they see things and how they think. You know, there's this terminology always about talking about thinking outside the box. Well, I think these organizers, to a certain degree, is buried in the box, and they can't think to expand
Right.
and really make this Trinidad style carnival what it really can be. And I strongly believe, given the opportunity,
Mhm.
it can happen, and it can happen huge.
Yes.
We are poised, if done correctly, to see the 500,000 people plus come back to Boston. And I think if it's done right, because this COVID pent up energy, you do it right, people is going to be all over this city like crazy, you know,
Right.
because they want to go out and be outdoors again and participate in whatever is taking place. And it can happen.
Right.
If the heads get together, there is Boston, there is Cambridge, there is Worcester. All these places link up together and organize one massive package
Right.
where the pie can be split up easily in all these avenues. You know,
Right.
instead of X looking for sponsors for X, why don't we look for sponsors for the whole package?
Right.
Boston, Cambridge, Worcester, etc., etc., and organize the bands together so everybody get a piece of the pie and the people can come out and truly enjoy the
Right.
activities that the Caribbean culture has to offer.
Right. Well, one of the things I would like us to do, going through the months, is to let us put together the best strategic plan that we possibly can come up with that will enable Attleboro to function within the atmosphere. I say that because I think Attleboro is somewhat virgin soil, an environment that never probably experienced this kind of activity to this extent.
Yeah,
And I think when I move around Attleboro and look around, there's a lot of open, exposed land around this place that we can truly do something to that level.
yeah,
We can have people from different countries coming here and
right,
performing. Um, we want to devise this plan that not only they will come here, but eventually we can have artists from here
yes,
living and touring and going to
right,
the Caribbean to perform.
yeah,
Those are the things I'm looking at that people can now make and not just in the performing arts, but you can look in terms of the culinary arts, the visual arts, that people can have the ability to move on with their knowledge and experience to some other country,
yeah,
get a career out of doing that,
yeah,
putting their products on exhibition, virtually having other countries putting it on their website that there's so much things we can do as a city or as cities come together. We don't have to be small anymore because the world basically is a small place now, considering the technology that we have to our hands.
yeah,
Having said that, I wish Andrew was here right now because I had discussed with him last night the probability of having a next government head meeting that he had 2 years ago in Boston. We have consul generals from other Caribbean territories came in to discuss economic development, education, and arts and culture, and so forth.
yeah,
That I would like to do a meeting like that up here in Attleboro, maybe the same year, that we can have the mayor join in this meeting to recognize that there is corporate unity in what
Yeah.
we do, and that we're not just a city out here hanging on ourselves and trying to do something, but we have the support of other cultures, other nations, their participation. I think that sends a signal in the minds of Attleboro residents that, hey, you know what, this thing is bigger than I think it is. We can really do something here to bring that positive vibe in developing, for people to break out of their chains of financial bondage or whatever the case may be, but elevate themselves, knowing
Right.
very well that they can start a small business,
Yeah.
big, and they can grow from there because here's some activities that bring in that startup venture to them that they can move on and be more independent for themselves. That is one of, but I'm sorry that Andrew is not here right now, so I guess you and I will have to shoot this meeting through, this interview through. But yes, Michael, I know that you is a genius in this thing, and I'm quite sure that we coming together and putting together a package that's comprehensive for up here and having your support, we can make a lot of things happen. I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit in terms of for future development for up here, because you have a good idea on this thing.
Well, I heard you say something about country to country type thing.
Mhm.
I think in terms of Trinidad,
Mhm.
they would love to send a contingency of people to your community
Right,
in terms of business development, etc., etc.
right.
So
So this is like a trade
once,
show,
excuse me,
like a trade show, because that would be a trade show, a trade show.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yes,
that I would be very happy to work with the Trinidad government
yes,
to put something together to come into this uh, project that you're also talking about there.
right,
But yeah, it's possible. It can be done.
right,
We can do it
yes,
with proper planning and development. It
right,
can happen without a doubt.
yes,
Um, I'm a strong believer in hashing things out and putting it together.
yes,
Uh, the potential problems I see is um, the people that I have to communicate with
mhm,
to get them to do certain things. I have to find a way to get them to bury the egos
mhm,
and see the big picture.
right,
You know,
correct.
but
Well, that is something that you found. Live through the Caribbean region. We got to kill those egos. Uh,
yes,
yes.
but yeah, we can definitely do it. And
No, but
and
definitely, I strongly believe that. One of the things that I was here thinking is that we both together, and
yes,
obviously I would pursue the assistance of the mayor of this, is to have, and this would be good for Attleboro because the meeting I just had, we are looking at ways of developing economic strategies here for businesses and so forth. And this would be a definite positive impact going through to have the Trinidadian government being a part of this venture.
yes,
Back in the 90s, I did a lot of business in Trinidad. I used to do a lot of trade in Trinidad, out of Trinidad. So I know what they have a strong industry. And
hmm
I know that there is something fresh and innovative that we can bring up here. I can put together a meeting with head government head from Trinidad, you, the mayor, myself. I believe strongly we can make this happen and start discussing top line strategic plans that can move this city forward and to also move Trinidad also
yes,
forward.
that's
Um,
right.
as I said before, the world is a small place,
Yeah,
and there was a time when it was big, but with today's technology and so much new innovations. Nothing is impossible.
That's correct.
The more we can unite and come together as a team and recognize that no one functions alone, but we all need each other to aspire to greatness. With that help, we can go many ways. We can go far ways. We can go. The sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
So the art and culture is just one aspect of it.
I mean, like I was saying, in terms of Trinidad, there's a lot of things going on, and they would love any exposure in terms of market and in terms of what they have to export or want to import.
Right.
So I think you are definitely on the right track with some of the ideas that you want to bring forward and turn into a reality. And I am here to see that Trinidad is properly represented, both in culture and in terms of the business world.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, with that note being said, I would seek probably down in the next couple of months to see what I can arrange in terms of giving you time to connect with your government. I would connect with my government in Barbados. I will connect with the mayor here and see what contingency plan we can come up together. And have a head of government meeting. If we have to do it temporarily, virtually, we can do that. But before we have a facial interaction, for some reason, even though I understand Zoom and the virtual realities of TV, there's nothing beat a physical interaction with people. It brings out the best of us. It also brings first. But you are able more to express yourself physically. There's more unity and connection. There's more lingering of communicating after the official meeting is done, and so much can be accomplished. So my aim would be to host, for us to host a governmental meeting. I would outline with the mayor here what we're looking at, when we're going to do it, and see when we can come up with the best date and have everybody come together under one umbrella. And do a reality government heads meeting. This was one thing I spoke to Andrew about in terms of having the next government heads meeting. I mean, this time I would take it upon myself to reach out to some of those consul generals from other Caribbean territories if needed. But as I stand, we can work with Trinidad and Barbados and here at Attleboro and get things done immediately, rather than waiting for everyone to come together. It would look good. It would just to have everybody assembled.
I think Andrew could definitely or will definitely be able to do something with Jamaica and have them contribute and do something also. So definitely he would be able to do something. Also, perhaps if a general invitation letter could be developed, it could be sent out to the other heads of the Caribbean also.
Well, so I mean, both of us, we can sit down and draft that letter. As
primary, shoot it. If you talk about shooting it to the local consulate or embassy offices, and put it in their hands and let them take it from there. They go and develop the package. So if it's a virtual thing you want to do, you could talk to that or do the virtual thing first, and then plan the actual event to take place in Attleboro.
Correct. But definitely, I would. We will look at arranging that pretty soon. That made perfect sense. We can definitely do that.
I mean, it in terms of marketing it. I think it should do great for Attleboro because the if you bring in these people in for say a couple of days, they will at least need some place to stay.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So the first day, perhaps they do a little tour of Attleboro, and then the next day they sit down and have discussions and
Right.
dinner that night and fly back out to where they came from. So
Exactly.
I think it will work all the way around and develop relationships with
Yes.
the business community in Attleboro, and we fly out from there. But it's all good.
Yes, definitely. We'll create an action plan.
Yes.
Right. So getting back, getting back basically to this arts and multicultural festival and so forth.
Yeah.
You know the impact of these things. What type of economic impact you think it will have, and how would it benefit the normal everyday person who probably want to go out there and sell some ice cream or sell some cakes or hot dogs or something?
Yeah.
How
Well,
how would it benefit them?
the normal vendors, as far as I'm concerned, they do very well. Um, for instance, Boston. I did a survey once, and I spoke to some of the vendors that comes to Boston, and I was totally amazed by the kind of funds they make that day.
Mhm.
One of the guy who just sell roti
Mhm.
told me
Mhm.
he makes over $20,000
Wow.
in that day.
Wow.
$20,000, and uh, it's big business. I mean, it's huge
Yes.
because I always get called because Boston Carnival Village is out there, my website is out there,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And people from far and wide, I mean, New York, Toronto, Washington, wants to come to Boston to be vendor.
Yes.
And when you have a serious conversation with these people, you realize that they're making a ton of money. As a matter of fact, some of them literally start businesses
Right.
following the different carnivals around the United States.
Mhm.
Literally, because the return is so good for them.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the vendors, if they do their things right, and I haven't seen any of them that hasn't done anything right. They do very well. They get here very early. They work very hard all day, and at the end of the evening, by the end of the parade,
Right.
very little of them has anything to go home with in terms of materials they bought to sell
Right.
on the site. So yeah, they are doing very well, very, very well, without a doubt, no questions asked.
Beautiful. And when that kind of activity happens, not only do the vendors do well, but the city do well because there is indirect taxation,
In
and there is, in some cases, there is direct taxation.
Yep,
I think the city make money from rental of spaces where vendors use for tents, set their
yes,
tents up and so forth. And
mm-hmm.
that's a lot of revenue in one day for a city to intake, um, considering the magnitude of these festivals. So, as I said a couple of days ago in an interview with the mayor in a meeting, is that there are countries in the Caribbean region, and even New York and Washington and Canada, these places, they depend on absorbing as much indirect taxation from some of these activities, and
Yeah,
in some cases, direct taxation from these activities. It grows the gross domestic product in many areas. So,
absolutely.
and I know for a fact that my country, Barbados, they depend a lot on the Crop Over Festival, and you have people from New York and Boston and
Right.
Washington and
Georgia.
wherever they are heading back into Barbados and spending money. We got tourists as far as places like Germany, you understand, that goes and attend these festivals and so forth annually.
Yeah.
So this isn't just a micro vision. This is a global vision that impacts whoever carry on these kind of activities.
Right.
So, so this is one reason why the residents here in Attleboro would want to be educated to what lies ahead of them and how they should get involved and why it's important that they get involved. Not only are they going to benefit themselves financially, they're going to also benefit the city economically. And when
Absolutely.
it benefit the city economically, the city can develop more. And in the process of developing more, it offers more opportunities to its residents to prosper and live a more effective and efficient life as to be depending or relying on the system to give them a handout and so forth. So I think this project is about helping people to becoming independent rather than to be dependent. And I think it's a human nature to be more independent than to be dependent. Unless there are those who just don't want to do anything and make good for themselves.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think this is a very great project that we could look forward to doing this year. Come next year, have the grand opening of something big. And I'm going to be discussing more this with the mayor.
In terms of revenue, again, you know, the hotels, the restaurants, the shops that sells little trinkets, etc.
Right.
And people rolling around the city for that day. It's great. A lot of foot traffic come into town, you know. It's all good. It's all good. As long as the events and the spaces are set up for them to do and see different things, I think it will work just fine.
Right.
Just fine. Me alone will be looking for one little place to do some art photography exhibitions.
Well, this
So that would be great right there, you know.
Well, you know, I want to thank you for those photos that you would have taken at our Red Carpet Award 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I have all of them basically on Facebook. They were beautiful. So yeah, man, this Michael, I cannot wait to get everything up and going. We will got the city on our side.
Yes.
Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I know I will be sworn in on the cultural council.
Yes.
And we're going to make things happen. We're going to make it happen on a large scale.
Yep.
On a large scale.
Put me on the list, please.
Well, you are on the list, my brother.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we are coming here now to a closure. Michael, it's always an honor having you. It's always a pleasure having you on board. We look forward to doing some great things in the future.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And to all those who have been tuning in on Living in the 21st Century, take this moment to be something new and innovative. We're going to make some big things happen in the year 2022 right here in Attleboro. Take good care and enjoy.